Dave Meltzer calls the historically low AEW Rampage ratings last week almost inexplicable. More details on how WWE plans to implement the new WWE Independent Development Program. Randy Orton possibly sustained a cervical cord neuropraxia after Kevin Owens hit a pile driver last Friday on SmackDown. An update on Britt Baker as her in-ring return is announced for this week's edition of AEW Dynamite. Details on just how much the women's division knew prior to the announcement of the brand new Women's United States Championship this past Friday on SmackDown. Details on Mina Shirakawa's return to AEW and how it could be longer than her last run in the company. And an injury update on the Blade after undergoing lower back fusion surgery. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the fallout of the historically low ratings for AEW Rampage last week. Of course, Rampage set to be cancelled at the end of the year. Dave Meltzer, of course, has opened up on this. The November 1st edition of AEW Rampage drew a record low 172,000 viewers and a 0.05 in the coveted 18 to 49 demographic. The show has struggled to attract over 300,000 viewers lately, but the aforementioned episode was unusual as it didn't face any stiff competition from any other sports or television programs. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the rating is a cause for concern. Quote, the show was down 28.6% in viewers from last week. Last week's show ended up at 241,000, not the 234,000 listed, but all the demos were all the same. Against the World Series, which makes no sense, down 41.4% in 18 to 49 and up 12.5% in the 18 to 34. It's almost inexplicable to have a drop like that without an obvious explanation, end quote. Meltzer noted that the show felt inconsequential due to not being promoted on that week's AEW Dynamite. Furthermore, there weren't any matches on the episode that people wanted to tune in for. The show saw LFI defeat The Butcher, Beef, and JD Drake, while Lio Rush overcame the High-Flying Commander in the main event. Rampage, of course, and AEW Battle of the Belts are expected to end in the near future. This is due to Warner Bros. Discovery's new media rights agreement with AEW, not including the show or the quarterly special. That said, it's possible that they could move to a different network or be replaced with the rumored AEW Shockwave, which has reportedly been shopped around to Fox and other network entities. Now, so many people at the moment talking about the WWE ID program. We've got some more recruits that have been announced over the weekend. But just how is this going to be implemented? What is the strategy behind it? How is it going to work? Now, the WWE recruitment process used to hinge on a tryout. Impress at a tryout and the WWE Performance Center opened its doors. Don't impress at a tryout and usually the independent scene or another organization awaits. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the new WWE ID program is giving WWE more of a chance to keep an eye on those with potential and guide them to places that can ready them further. Quote, now, if the idea is that they have potential, they'll be signed to deals that were described as similar to the next in line deals, the NIL deals. They sign college athletes too. It's not enough money to live on, but it's money, and it's a deal that basically means there is a relationship that opens the door, Meltzer wrote. In a flip from the company's previous feelings about the NIL prospects, WWE ID wrestlers will be encouraged to take independent dates from affiliated promotions and train at affiliated schools, and can even be offered contracts from other companies. Should they be offered contracts, WWE has the right of first refusal and can sign the talent instead and bring them to either the Orlando Performance Center or the rumored Las Vegas facility. Talent not from affiliated schools are encouraged to train at affiliated schools. WWE has announced a large number of WWE ID recruits already, including Jack Cartwheel, Bryce Donovan, Sam Legacy, and many other popular independent and international talent. The recruitment pool stretches from Wrestling Open to GCW to Pro Wrestling Noah to Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. In fact, more recruits, as I mentioned, have been announced over the weekend. The WWE ID prospect pool just got a little bigger, courtesy of William Regal. While backstage for Friday's broadcast of SmackDown on USA Network, Regal presented indie standouts Marcus Mathers and Sam Holloway with WWE Independent Development, WWE ID for short, contracts. Footage of this happening was then released to X, with WWE also confirming that Mathers and Holloway signed their respective deals. Mathers, a 5 5-year veteran of the Squared Circle, was scouted from Game Changer Wrestling. Outside of GCW, Mathers has boasted notable appearances at Beyond Wrestling, H2O, and Dreamwave, the latter of which he reigns as the Dreamwave Alternative Champion. Holloway, on the other hand, carries forth 2 years of pro experience. According to his WWE ID graphic, he is scouted from International Wrestling Cartel, IWC, where he's currently serving as the IWC Super Indie Champion. Elsewhere, Holloway is a regular fixture on Absolute Intense Wrestling and also other promotions. Per a new report from Fightful Select, William Regal isn't the only WWE alumni involved in the WWE ID program. Timothy Thatcher, a former WWE NXT superstar, is also believed to be filling in or possibly being in a coaching/training role of some sort with WWE ID. Fightful also noted that more familiar names are expected to be revealed as part of the WWE ID program. Furthermore, the WWE ID program will reportedly extend to independent wrestling talent that have previously been signed by other major companies, as long as they are deemed to be a good fit for the organization. So far, WWE, as I mentioned, has confirmed several prospects, and more are expected to be announced in the future. Now, Randy Orton, the storyline with Kevin Owens, many people talking about the pile driver Friday night on SmackDown, and WWE has provided a medical status update on the Viper after he was attacked by Kevin Owens on the November 8th episode of SmackDown. On Friday, Orton was stretchered out after Owens spiked him on the mat with a pile driver. WWE has since confirmed that he will be sidelined indefinitely in an announcement shared via X. Quote, breaking: after last night's brutal attack by Kevin Owens on SmackDown, Randy Orton has been diagnosed with cervical cord neuropraxia. There is no timetable for his return, the announcement read. Orton's sidelining could serve as the way back for Owens' feud with undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes on Friday nights. Hostilities between Orton and Owens grew out of those originally started by KO against the American Nightmare, owing to the champion working with Roman Reigns at Bad Blood last month. Rhodes joined Orton as he was stretchered out of the building on Friday, and it's likely he will seek vengeance after losing his only friend on SmackDown. Rhodes' last title defense came against Solo Sikoa in a steel cage match in September, having defeated Gunther at Crown Jewel to become the inaugural men's Crown Jewel champion. With WWE Survivor Series on the horizon, Rhodes could find himself defending his gold against his former friend. Owens and Rhodes previously clashed for the undisputed WWE Championship at Bash in Berlin and hugged it out afterwards, but there probably won't be any love shown following their next encounter. Now, Britt Baker, she's going to be back in action this week on AEW Dynamite. As was previously reported, Britt Baker will return to the ring for competition on the November 13 episode. While Baker's opponent hadn't been announced, AEW has now revealed who Baker will face on Wednesday's show. Britt Baker is scheduled to go one-on-one against Penelope Ford. AEW shared the following preview for the match, saying, quote, after Britt issued an open contract, the re-emergent Penelope Ford has signed up to fight on Dynamite. Two AEW originals aiming for the top will fight one-on-one this Wednesday. Now, Baker hasn't wrestled since the October 2nd Dynamite 5th anniversary show when she defeated Serena Deeb in singles action. She was notably pulled from the October 8th AEW Dynamite episode due to illness, missing out on a TBS Championship #1 contenders match. She previously returned at Forbidden Door in June after being away from AEW television since the previous September due to injury issues. Now, speaking of the women's division, this time in WWE, of course, the world's still buzzing over the announcement of the Women's United States Championship. Last Friday, SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis revealed that the main roster's women's division will now have another title to vie for in the form of the Women's United States Championship. Reports initially forecasted this news about an hour ahead of SmackDown. A lingering question remains, though, when did the women of WWE find out about it? Well, according to Fightful Select, female talents they spoke to were unaware of the Women's United States Championship introduction until the day of SmackDown on November 8th. Furthermore, talents do not know if Raw will add a similar mid-card title to its respective brand, i.e. an Intercontinental Women's Championship or something like that, or if WWE will determine this inaugural title holder via a tournament. They're pretty much in the dark for all of these plans. Upon his announcement, Aldis stated that the Women's United States Championship would not be awarded or handed over, but rather earned by whoever is willing to go above and beyond and seize the moment. As of now, there's no word on if the championship will be exclusive to SmackDown or if it will drift between both main roster brands. Regardless, the women of WWE are evidently thrilled by this new title, with Bayley proclaiming it's a huge development for WWE's women's division. Now, the addition of the Women's US title comes just 5 months after WWE crowned Kalani Jordan as the NXT Women's North American Champion, making her the first ever mid-card singles champion for WWE's developmental brand in the women's division. Jordan has since lost the title to Fatal Influence's Fallon Henley after falling short in a gauntlet match at Halloween Havoc. Now, Mina Shirakawa, how long is she going to be in AEW for? Well, Mina Shirakawa is returning to AEW, as video packages on AEW programming have been making abundantly clear. The Japanese star has been absent, wrestling in Stardom in her home country. According to Fightful Select, fans can expect to see the Stardom star much longer than her last tenure in the company. Shirakawa's last spell in AEW was cut short due to worries about her visa that have reportedly been dealt with. Shirakawa hasn't wrestled on American soil since New Japan Pro Wrestling's Capital Collision event in August, where Shirakawa teamed with Hanako to defeat Trish Adora and Viva Van on the pre-show. Before that, Shirakawa lost to AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm at Forbidden Door. Shirakawa was caught in the love triangle between herself, Storm, and now AEW Women's World Champion Mariah May. May and Shirakawa have plenty of history, not only in AEW, but when May was previously in Stardom, where May and Shirakawa held the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Championship. May credits Shirakawa for helping her find her place in pro wrestling. The love triangle between the three women was reportedly not pitched, as May said earlier this year that AEW management had to actually ask them to pull back on the amount of kissing they were doing on screen. The Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer expects all three women, Shirakawa, May and Storm, to possibly have a three-way match at some point down the line. Storm has been absent from AEW programming since losing the women's title, wrestling abroad in Japan and in Mexico's CMLL promotion. And finally, a bit of an injury update here on The Blade after recently undergoing back fusion surgery. Now, after being sidelined for almost the entirety of 2024, AEW star The Blade underwent back fusion surgery in September, with the veteran star taken to social media shortly afterwards to inform his fans that the surgery was a success. Little has been heard in regards to The Blade's recovery since that post-surgery update, but now we might just have this via his former on-screen stablemate Ali, also known as The Bunny. During a virtual signing with RDP Promotions, Ali provided a positive update on The Blade amid his continued absence. Ali said, quote, "He's hanging in. He just started his PT. His back surgery went really well. I'm really proud of him. He's doing a ton of stand-up comedy right now. He's really just focused on getting healthy." Now, as of now, there's no further update on The Blade's prospects of a potential in-ring return, but of course, if we get any more details, we'll of course let you know. The Blade's last AEW bout came on the January 10th edition of Ring of Honor television, with the 44-year-old competing once more at an independent show on February 4th. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.